Things are getting more and more bizarre in the Delphi case in light of yesterday's release of 283 pages of documents by the state of Indiana in Carroll County. We've learned a whole bunch of things, and I'm just going to address a few of them in this video. Number one, let's take a look here. Richard Allen's home, it says there's a sale pending. The seller has accepted an offer, and this property is now pending or under contract, pending on June 28th, 2023. $254,900. So apparently Kathy Allen has sold or is in the process of selling their home, and I can understand why, quite frankly. According to these documents released the other day, among the 5 or 6 times that Allen confessed, allegedly, was during an April phone call with Kathy Allen, and at which time, after Allen confessed to the murders of Abby and Libby to her, allegedly, according to these documents, she abruptly hung up the phone, is what the sworn documents that were released yesterday stated. I find this interesting because I was doing some research, and as recently as June 21st, 2023, the New York Post, even though it's sort of a tabloid newspaper, reported, and I quote, that Kathy Allen allegedly said to a reporter before the hearing, quote, "He's my person," referring to her jailed husband, Richard Allen. Now, note the date on that, okay? That's June 21st. But the documents that were released yesterday clearly state that it was in April of this year that Allen allegedly confessed to his wife. So even though he's already confessed to her over the phone, she's still in a court of law as recently as 9 days ago, allegedly, according to the New York Post, this isn't me saying this, he's my person. And now her house is up for sale. And pending sale, actually. So, forgive me for a moment. You know, when people talk about why there's national interest in this case, you know, other than the fact that it's the horrific crimes that were committed against 2 wonderful young girls, and I can't imagine what the family must be going through, learning some of this and reading some of this. You know, my prayers go out to them because it's kind of a, you know, just this 3-ring circus and so many players in this game. You've got the prosecution saying, you know, there's other people possibly involved, and it's like we're watching a Hollywood script or something, unfortunately, and it kind of just it has all these charismatic players. You've got, you know, the Matthew McConaughey good-looking prosecutor, Nick McClelland. You've got the defense team, and they look like the angry, stereotypical Hollywood version of what a defense team would look like, you know, like this grumpy, short Colonel Sanders-y looking defense lawyer. You've even got a fat kid sitting in jail that talked to the girls the days of the murder, or the day of the murders, that they still can't prove whether or not he was directly connected to Richard Allen in any way, or to these crimes in any way. And he's in jail on camera with the murder sheet last month, telling them that he's tried to tell the prosecution more stuff about the Delphi case, but they don't want to hear it, probably because he's been caught in so many lies. So again, this is just a yellow brick road of twists, turns, craziness, and other nonsense. So the last thing I'm going to go over in this video, and one of the things we learned yesterday from this affidavit, was John Gallipeau. Forgive me if I pronounced that incorrectly. He's the acting warden of Westville Correction Facility. It's part of the Indiana Department of Corrections, where Richard Allen is being jailed. And it's an affidavit from him in these documents responding to all the naysayers who claim that Allen is being mistreated. And in a nutshell, I won't go through all of it, but he says, he's got the same mattress, same bed as everybody, that he's offered shower time 3 times a week, the same as everybody else, that he's provided 3 sets of clothing per week, which is the same as other inmates in the facility, that he has commissary privileges, extra shirts and his shoes in his cell that he's not wearing, that he's not required to wear the same clothes and underwear for days and days on end that are soiled, stained, tattered, and torn, yet Allen appears to, according to these documents, be just basically sitting in his own filth for days or weeks at a time. And he was also given an electronic tablet where he can make calls, send texts, and download music, which is an amenity the inmates do not have, other inmates do not have, and he broke it. So he broke the device they gave him, allegedly. It says the defendant's afforded the same recreation time as all the other inmates, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that he's regularly seen by medical personnel and mental health counselors. So all of you who were claiming without any proof that these hardworking officers were mistreating him, I know that's what the defense is alleging also. It's the defense's job to create any sort of doubt possible. So try to take some of these things you see on here with a grain of salt and stick with the known facts, especially sworn statements like this, things that are documented, signed, because there's real legal consequences for not telling the truth in a case like this. So my guess is everybody's being very straightforward in these documents here for the most part. So again, prayers for Abby and Libby and for their family. And if there's anybody else out there that was involved with this, remember they're still taking tips. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to make another video that goes over the chain of custody and the evidence that they found at Richard Allen's home during the search warrant, and I'm going to post that one right after finishing this one up. Thanks, everybody.